Kurt.
KFC's Extra Tasty Spicy is here to set every moment on fire. Spice up your day with a dash of extreme spicy. Available in battered fries, boneless crispy strips, and KFC crispy chicken. Order the Extra Tasty Spicy and get ready for a fiery feast. Enter KFC's spiciest era yet. Get your fix at your favorite KFC today or order online at kfcguam.com. KFC, it's finger licking good.
It is Veterans with Benefits on this Memorial Day. On the Point with your hosts, Anthony Tyron and Karina Ballista.
Hafa Day, Guam, and welcome to Veterans with Benefits. It's Memorial Day. And so first we'll start with our sponsors. Anthony, did you want to say hello?
Hello, this is Anthony.
And then we'll introduce our guests when we're done with our sponsors. So you can give us a call at 671-888-TALK. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Ambrose Inc., Hebzibah Clinic, American Legion, 11Z's. And if you haven't been there, they're right behind the studio, Upper Tumon. They offer an 11% discount to veterans and military. Guam Eco Surfaces. Who am I forgetting?
Zuilo?
Oh, Zuilo.org and Bit Gaza for Senator. And if there are any senators out there, anyone running, want to come on the show, want to sponsor us, give us a call. So now we're going to introduce our guests. Who wants to start?
Well, okay, I guess we're introducing ourselves. I'm Bob Kelly, and I'm an Army veteran, both active duty, reserve, and guard.
Okay.
Half a day. My name is Celinda Fawcett. I am an Army veteran also, and I do love to help HMI.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to say hello to Knox and Aaliyah.
All right. Okay. So did we want to explain what we're going to do today? Our show is kind of different today.
Well, I think it would be good for you to at least lay out our introduction
Okay.
and what we're going to do, which afterwards we'll talk a little bit about Memorial Day and then go on. So could you
Okay.
fill
So
us in?
Anthony and I attended the Memorial Day ceremony at the Veterans Cemetery. And, well, before that, we didn't know, because, you know, we have a show every Monday. We didn't know there wouldn't be a show on Monday. So when we said, okay, we're going to do a show on Monday, Bob said, well, I have an idea. Let's honor Guam's Fallen. And so we met and we came up with this program, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so do we want to stand?
Yes.
Jose, are you ready? You ready? Okay, so we're going to stand and do the, yes.
You're gonna and go through. We're gonna announce names. We're gonna
Yes.
do the.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a Pledge of Allegiance, and then after that we're going to do Guam, Star Spangled Banner, Guam Hymn. Then we're going to do the Inifresi. Actually, no, it's a recorded Inifresi. And then we will then read the names. And then after that, we're going to, Taps is going to be played.
Yes.
And then after that, we'll start the show. And then after that, 4 minutes before the show ends, we'll do the Armed Forces medley.
Awesome.
Okay, so Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
So we're standing because the flags are here in studio. So I'm not sure what the camera can see. Go ahead. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
in my saddle. Fanogi, Fanogi Chamoru. Gineni mastak hilo, gihina soku. Imastak halong, gikurason hu. Zani mas figo, nani nasinyahu. Who phrase in my saddle? Fanogi, Fanogi Tamoru Parabai Prutehi, Zanhu defendi, Ihinengi, Ikutura, Ilengwahi, Iairi, Ihanum, Janitano Tamoru. Niren shaku diretsu gininasu ustata, esti huefit magi hilo I biblia, Zani banderahu, I banderengwahan.
All right. Guess we can have a seat now. Okay, so we're going to talk about Memorial Day.
Well, I wanted to at least emphasize on this show that there is a difference in Memorial Day and in our Veterans Day. Veterans Day is celebrated November 11th, and that's based upon the armistice that was signed after World War I, and it honors all veterans who served. Memorial Day came after the Civil War in 1868. It was initially called Decoration Day. Now it's called Memorial Day, and it's to honor those who've given the ultimate sacrifice. So actually we're honoring kind of two people today. I was going to mention that. We honor the veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice, but we also want to pay special tribute and remember all of the Gold Star families who we've got these veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and we've had families who've lost brothers, a few sisters, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. And we need to remember the ultimate sacrifice was paid by them, but we also want to remember the people they left behind.
Yes.
Yes, we have to. Sorry, I think we just have to share your camera with Bob because we can't
No,
see
I got
Bob.
a camera.
Oh, I think because we can't see Bob. No thing.
Well, it might be
Is it
a
working?
blessing.
Is it better? Oh, there
good,
we
he's
go.
good. Okay.
There we go.
Much better.
Okay, yes, better. Okay, so we are going to start. We're going to read the names. So we're going to read those from the Korean War, Vietnam War, and then Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom.
Okay.
And we're going to start with Jose. You ready? Okay. We'll start with Bob.
Okay, we're going to now read the people from Guam who gave the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country in the Korean War. Pedro L. Augen, Jose A. Kanata, Jesus T. Agagi, Jose S. Perez, Juan D. Benavente, Jose P. Sablon, Ignacio C. Castro, Joaquin S. Santos, Jesus A. Camacho, Gregoria B. Salas, Armadeo A. Cruz, Jesus C. Seguenza, Juan C. Ferron, Ramon B. Tenorio, Francisco G. Javier, Jesus I. Tovas, Jose G. Leon Guerrero, Vicente G. Mano, and Gonzalo M. Pablo.
And now to honor our fallen veterans of the Vietnam War. Jesus Rosa Mariano, David Guerrero Benavente, Jose B. Dueñas, Tomas Salas Rivera, Antonio Kichitsu Sablon, Henry Pangilinan Pareda, Joseph Agigi Cruz, Benny San Nicolas Flores, Preciado T. Torres, Roy Flores Meno, Juan Dueñas Cepeda, Pedro Rosario Guerrero, Albert Barcenas Doyle, Tomas Kichitsu Sablon, James E. A. Santos, Pedro Afligui Cruz, James Lujan Blas, Ernest Pablo Santos, excuse me, Johnny Cruz Genga, Alan James Damian, Ignacio Espinoza Sablon, Joseph William Cruz, Joaquin Palacios Cabrera, Tomas Garcia Regis, James Edward Violet, Francis San Nicolas Torre, Jose Babalta Herrera, Jesus Aquilino Kitachai, Johnny Salas Taitagui, Robert Leon Guerrero Mendiola, Herman Borja de Leon, David Bitonga Camacho, Jose Quinata Agan, Edward Cruz Cruz, Vicente Dueñas Perez, Gregorio Mesa Camacho, Rudy Ediger E.A., Lucas Herrera Rodriguez, Tomas Regis Mesa.
Jesus Kineni Meno, Donald Samingit Carter, George Santiago Sanchez, Enrique Salas Cruz, Vicente Feja Guerrero, Gregorio L. Pangilinan, Joseph Martin Estacio, Juan P.R. Castro, Vicente Tepahago Espinosa, John Anthony Perez, Harold James Finney, Ralph Scambaluri Yokoi, Eugene Raymond Ripple, Federico V. De La Cruz, Juan Leon Guerrero Dueñas, Ronald Perez Casito, Frank Blas, Victor P. San Nicolas, Fernando Barcinas Estevez, Anthony Martin Blas, Rafael Salas Santos, Juanito M. Escano, Edward Regis Diaz, Vicente Pinaula Morham, Rufo Santos San Nicolas, Francisco M. Asanoma, Pedro Cabrera Pangilinan, Emilio Ninaisen Netidog, Frank Ugan Sablan, Enrique Rosario Santos, Jeffrey I. Quintanilla, Juan Santos Borja, David John Funes, David Atoigui Gorton, George Sablan Meno, David Cruz Flores, Juan Tenorio Sablan, Mark Frederick Biagini.
And now I'll read the names of those who, from the Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Eugene M. Uggin, Dwayne W. Flores, Jason Petrie, Joshua Lucela, Anthony Carbolito, Samson Mora, Brian Leon Guerrero, Henry Ofishar, Gregory Farron, Christopher Fernandez. Now, I'll also read Operation Iraqi Freedom. J.G. Melawat, Joseph Gamboa, John D. Flores, Richard Jr. D. Napati, Iosiwa Uro, Casper Dudkowitz.
And now if we could stand in here, and we're going to play a rendition of taps in honor of all the fallen veterans from Guam and the United States.
HR managers are totally united in one reality today. It's never been as hard to bring on young talent and keep them as it is now. New hires may stay with you 3 months, 3 weeks, or 3 days. Is it just a problem with youth today, or is it a breakdown in the relationships between managers and workers? Wednesday, June 12th, Guam Training presents RPM, Recognition, Praise, and Motivation, the transformative course that gives each supervisor and manager tools to build better, stronger, longer-lasting, mutually profitable working relationships. RPM slam dunks the old myths about the manager-worker connection and provides a fresh perspective on how to energize today's talent and get them to stay with you longer. RPM, Recognize, Praise, and Motivation, just one of 6 powerful courses offered between June 11th and June 20th. Get the details for RPM and the other courses offered at guamtraining.com. It's all waiting for you at guamtraining.com.
And we're back. You can call in at 671-888-TALK. If you missed the first part of the show, it's on YouTube and Facebook. And Bob?
Yeah, Karina, I just wanted to make one comment. We spent some time honoring those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and there were quite a few from Guam. And almost every family in Guam is touched by someone in their family who's given the ultimate sacrifice. And the other thing I wanted to say is Guam has over twice the number of casualties of men and women who've sacrificed their lives for the nation, the United States, as the rest of the United States does. So Guam is an extremely patriotic territory.
I would often say that we are the most patriotic place in the United States, and most folks in the United States are a little worried about that. But hey, that's what we do out here in Guam.
All right, so would like to announce the Veteran of the Week.
Oh yeah.
Howard B. Santiago.
Yay.
Howard enlisted in the U.S. Army on November 29, 1977. He went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic training in AIT. Then he was assigned to Delta Battery 5688, Germany. Then to 79th Engineers Combat Heavy, 25th Infantry Division, Hawaii. Then to E1 School Brigade as a drill instructor at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And then to 84th Engineers, 18th Brigade in Germany, then as a tank armor instructor at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, then to the 122 Signal 2nd Infantry Division in Korea, then to 292 Field Artillery, 1st Cavalry, Fort Hood, Texas, then on to 102nd Military Intelligence 2nd Infantry Division in Korea, and his last duty station was at the 302nd Military Intelligence in Fort Hood, Texas. His decorations include Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, 5 awards, Good Conduct Medal, 5 awards, National Defense Medal, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Award, 2 awards, Overseas Ribbon, 6 awards, Motor Sergeant Course Expert Rifle Badge, Heavy Mechanic Badge. He retired 20 years later in 1997. So thank him for his service. Let us honor him for his service. Veteran of the Week,
Yay.
Howard Santiago.
Congratulations, Howard.
Yes.
Howard's a big supporter of our movement to take care of veterans, get them to register and file their claims, and he's still pursuing his claims, and he's out there. He sends quite a few folks over to our boot camps and tries to, push what we've been talking about, getting our veterans to register at the CBOC and getting them to file for their benefits. I know we had a conversation with Miss Sue over at the 11Zs, and we talked a little bit about, filing and who's a veteran, and sometimes things get kind of, there's certain numbers that, 180 days, and maybe this and maybe that. And some of the things we teach in boot camp is that really at the end of the day, if you just go file, they'll tell you. And when I say that, right, we had some folks in the past who were other than honorable, and that's changed these days. And one of the things we talk about with that is we had one of them who was other than honorable, And generally speaking, when they're other than honorable and they try to call in for like an intent to file or create an account, right, they'd be told that they're not qualified. Okay. Now, we had one gentleman who was in that position, and he came back and he called in, and he finally was told that, yes, he is a veteran and that he could, pursue his claim, even though prior to this he had other than honorable. So that is in effect, and it is working. So all our veterans who are out there that may have other than honorable, we should have them come in and continue to pursue their benefits and potentially their care, care and compensation if it's possible for them. So that's something that's fairly new and actually really good for us out here and for all our veterans, because we're being told that we need numbers, and the numbers have to come from CBOC. I know I get a little defensive when they tell us it's numbers, because for me, I know we have a veteran from Guam that's out at Chico right now, California, and Chico had their own hospital that they tore down and rebuilt, and Dr. Akoma used to work there. So when he saw the pictures that I sent him, he goes, "That's not the same place I worked in." They built them a brand new, beautiful 40-some thousand square feet. I mean, even if they call it a clinic or whatever they want to call it, it's huge. And they have like 150 staff there, and it's just so much effort put into, hey, they rebuilt them, newer, bigger, better, and they funded it and gave them people to support that. Now, the reason why that's important is if they're telling us we need numbers at the CBOC, we have more, our population is larger than Chico, California. Our veteran numbers are more than Chico, California. So I'm just wondering, is it really numbers that they're after? And I know maybe I'll have Bob talk a little bit
But
about.
before he does, I'm going to say hello to everyone online.
Okay. You got to hang on to that there, Bob.
Brennan Fausto,
Hello,
he
Brennan.
says, "Let's go, veteran warfighters." Hello, Jana Lu, she's watching. And then we have Bill Salisbury, Biba HMI, and to our veteran community. Then we have Victor Duenas. God bless all of them that never make it back, and to all that served. And then we have Gina Sunshine watching.
Hey.
So yes, Bob, take it away.
Well, I think what Anthony's alluding to is I would like to see the veterans on Guam be treated at the Naval Hospital.
Yes.
And the Naval Hospital does not have that as a mission now. They do it out of compassion when they do it. But if it's a mission that comes down from the federal government, which it's done, the federal government has done with several military hospitals around the United States, one being in the Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yes.
If they can do the same thing there that they would do here and give that as a mission, fund the hospital to be able to take care of the veterans, which includes giving them the additional staff, we don't need a new hospital. Right. We need an expanded facility that the veterans are welcome. And I want them to treat the veterans the same way they do the active service member if they're entitled to the VA care.
And we also have, what do you call it? We already have a template, right? Because out in Tripler, we have the folks there that are allowing our veterans to utilize the Tripler Hospital,
Yes.
which is a Army hospital.
Army, yes.
Yes. So
Actually, an Army medical center.
so it's not even a hospital.
No, it's a medical center.
There's a difference, right?
Yeah, like number one, it's a 07 Commander.
Okay. So do we want a medical center or do we want a hospital on Guam?
Well, a hospital probably would serve Guam.
Okay. And so that's kind of like the things we got to look at, right? We had some discussions today, and it seems like when we first met Rear Admiral Huffman at the chamber meeting, he told us that in the coming months that we would be doing something to get our MOU started. And that's different from a mission, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so an MOU is just, hey, a memorandum of understanding. Now, that's been in place for a while. So,
But what we want
Is
is
our
federal law,
Okay.
Congress to pass as a mission that Guam veterans will be treated at the Navy Hospital, and that would be funded and part of their mission. There would not be a memorandum here that can be changed. It would be in the law of the land.
And here's the thing, though. As we were discussing with Ms. Sue and also with Ms. Karina, we never not had that MOU. That MOU has been in place. My question becomes, somewhere along the way it was either stopped or not allowed to continue?
Well, I think they still honor it, but to the extent they honor it, it depends upon the command and staffing. If they're short-staffed and it's a memorandum, they're not going to serve the veteran because they don't have the staffing. If they are fully staffed, and if you have a commander that is in favor of participating, then we have it. And so that can depend. One commander can totally change the next commander or the previous commander's rules and what they operated. And second, that's why we want it to be a mission. And the second thing is we need to make sure they're funded, because it is not, we cannot expect the Naval Hospital to serve veterans if they haven't been given the resources.
Right.
Yes, I agree. And so we have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have news this week from 7 veterans. Okay. And I used to say that I want to see their percentages, but I don't want to do that. I want to turn it into dollar figures. So total combined, those 7 veterans that got awarded, they got granted benefits or compensation. The total is $17,468 into the economy, which will be in their bank accounts on June 1st, once a month for the rest of their lives, tax-free. And we did talk about this last show. This is the money they didn't have. And some of them, all they had to do was take that first step and file. And so if you're a veteran out there listening, please file your claim, because you don't know what the I don't know if I want to say VA, but the armed services, because, you know, a lot of us don't even remember when we went to sick call. We can't remember a certain day 10 years ago, but it's in our records, so you just don't know. So I'll read the percentages, but the dollar figure total combined is $17,468. And Anthony always says the tourism, where our, how do you say it?
Medical tourism?
No, us veterans.
Oh, rather than, so we'll be like our homegrown tourists. Is you know, when the tourists aren't coming in and the military aren't here, right? We'll get our veterans to become the folks to fill that void and do staycations and you know, go stay in the hotels and promote it in that fashion, because now they have disposable income.
Yes.
Well, more important, Anthony, if we build the CBOC up,
Yes.
and one thing we need our veterans here to do is go down, if they have not applied, and apply to see if they can become registered for medical care. But if we build the CBOC up, we have many veterans in Philippines, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, who, if we have a full facility here, this is much closer for them to come for treatment, and we can serve the much larger veteran community in the Asian Pacific area.
Did I pay you to say that?
I thought I was the one that taught it to you.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
Sue, I know Sue has something to say.
Oh, I just wanted to say, if you want to know how to file for your claim, then please join us at the next boot camp.
Hey.
Oh,
Coming up
right.
in
Where is it
It's
and
in
when
Cha-
is it?
It's in Chalampago, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
5:30 to 9, yes.
Yes,
So
and
we'd love to see you there and help you.
you'll
Yes,
get to
it's a
see
claim file.
these lovely faces there.
Yes. What was Bob saying? Bob, what were you saying about the females in this room?
I was just going to, oh, yes. Well, what I was going to say, 10% of the veterans of the world, or of America, are female. And we have 50% in the room here. So it's,
Representing here.
we have a very high percentage. One comment, though, as far as this, I'm just laughing a little bit. Every time they hold the boot camp, it's when I'm off island. And
Are you
will-
leaving again?
I will be off then.
Actually, yes. So we've been trying to get Bob on the radio, and so we told him, no, you have to be on the show this day, especially Memorial Day. And
Well, and
so-
I wanted to for this
Yes.
because I wanted to make sure we did honor the fallen.
Yes, and you made sure.
And we got to keep doing this, right? And the more we can remember them, you know, the better it is, right? I mean, you know, they say you die twice, right? Once when you stop breathing and your heart is no longer pumping, right? But the other time is when people stop saying your name. So, you know, we want to continue to remember that. And if we could do that, that'd be awesome. So I think we're ready for another break now.
Oh, another break. Yes, another break. We'll be right back.
Our Island Wedding Expo was one for the books. Massive thank you to some of our sponsors who made it happen. Payless Floral Shop,
Island Color and Coffee,
Weddings by Cha,
Weddings by Jane,
Rustic Poppy Photography,
Stellstar Productions,
Say Media,
Oven Lovin',
Heaven Sent,
DNA Custom Creations.
and Michaela Winters Photography. With special thanks to BK and Sandcastle. Congratulations to our Baby Grand and Grand Prize winners. Stay tuned to Boss 104, The Point, and Star 101 for our next choice event.
Kami ang inyong bangko na tapat sa serbisyo. Tunay na kaibigan at handa para sa inyo. Ang bangko ng kinabukasan, laging maaasahan. Land Pacific, where others dug branches, we place roots.
And we're back. So there's some more comments online.
Okay.
So we have, Cami Castro, how about more providers? Bob, you did talk about that a little bit. Howard Santiago is watching.
Hey,
Congratulations,
Veteran
Veteran of the
yes.
Week. Biba, all veterans and their families. Then Pat Flores says, can boot camps be conducted on non-drill weekends?
Those are non-drill weekends.
Oh, we don't have them on weekends.
Yeah.
We have them on the weekdays.
Yes, Monday,
Tuesday,
through Wednesday,
Wednesday.
right now.
Yes.
And it's 5:30 at night to
Yes.
about 8:39.
Yes. So do you have drill during the week, Pat? Oh, wait. Are you Pat? Oh, wait, hold on. Is this Pat and Norma or Pat Norma? Sorry. Who am I speaking to? Sorry. But we have a whole 2024 schedule of boot camps. So if you can't make the one coming up, we have one every month. And we also have the symposium,
Yes,
which is
that's what I was
during the
about to say.
day.
Yes.
So the symposium will be at the Guam Museum, and that'll start at 8 a.m. And then, so beginning the day will be healthcare providers, healthcare providers, other community organizations, and then the second half of the day will be boot camp. So if you can't make June, try to make one of those days or the symposium. What do we want to talk? Oh, so I wanted to read the percentages. Sorry. So I gave you guys the amount of 17,468, and that's just the last 2 weeks, right, Anthony? The last 2
Yes.
weeks. So we got a veteran that got awarded 100%, 100%, 50%, 90%, 50%, 100%, and 70%. So I did the math with all that combined. Just those 7 veterans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $17,468 that they can use for, I don't know, anything they want to.
And even more than that, right? These same folks will be getting their medical benefits now, right? They'll be able to get into the base and
Yes.
use the commissary,
Gas.
use the the gas. Gas is, what is it outside? $2 more than
It's like
base?
5, gosh.
Yes.
It hurts my eyes every time I pass by 76.
And even if just
Does
that,
anybody in here know?
Because we do.
Well, we all gas on base, so I'm not sure. Well, no, except when we're too busy and we have to gas at Shell or Mobile. I'm like, $25, please.
they're probably laughing at us. Or I think they're starting to know, right? I think these guys are veterans, right? They're only gassing. Who gasses $20, right? And then leaves. They must be cheating on us, right? They're going somewhere else to get gas.
And then we have Deborah Uggan joining us online. Hello, Deborah Uggan. Tax-free. Yes, tax-free once a
Yeah,
month
that's
for the
another
rest of their
thing,
lives.
yes.
Yeah, tax-free.
So I wanted to talk a little bit, if we don't mind, right? We're good?
Yes.
Okay. So you know how, Guam, everybody knows where we're at and how far away we are. I mean, I think, right, and, there's, by the way, there's great folks that are up there at our CBOC taking care of us, and there's probably great folks at the Benny Travel, and these guys are given instructions of what to do and how to do things. But here on Guam, it's not like they don't know, that we are underfunded and we don't have these services here, right? So it should be well known to the entire VA community, to include in Hawaii, that they should know that, hey, they don't have these services. So if they don't have them, the issue is not, well, let's see whether we can schedule you for a time. We should already be known that, hey, if they don't have the service, put them on the next plane and get them out of here. What's the soonest you can get them on? Not try to figure out, well, let's work on your travel arrangements. You should have had that done already. You see what I mean? It's not like something just popped up and, oh, now they don't have the service. They don't have the service. The issue is not, well, let's figure out travel. No, it's put them on a plane. Get them to where they need to be. Not, well, I'm Benny Travel and let me see what I can do for you, right? It's, you already know the service is not here. The next thing to do is put them on a plane and get them to where it needs to be. And I have to say, I recently read that they're supposed to fly us all the way to California if they don't have the services in Hawaii. And by the way, they sometimes don't have the services there. I will say for the record that I was told that I couldn't go to California. And I feel really slighted about that. And I think that's unfair. And it does not matter who it is that's telling me I can't go there. It's their job to find out and put an end to that.
Yes.
They need to say, if I need to be seen somewhere, stop with all this, oh, you know, maybe we can put you on first class. Or get the ticket, give it to the veteran, and get them out of here. It's not something where we have to debate whether they're going to go or not, or, well, let's see what seat. If you already know we're going to be moving, start blocking off seats. That's the same thing they do for other federal governments. And I'm well aware of this because I've been in a position where we had seats and they were blocked off and nobody can get those seats. Even here on Guam, when active duty people need to be brought in, they're blocking off hotel rooms that the federal government pays for because they know these people are coming and they will use it. I think the same should apply to our veterans. When they need the service, this should be blocked off already. You know, I'm hearing horror stories, and I'm sure there are good things that are happening, and they're getting taken care of. But at the same time, there are these ones that are not being taken care of. And when they're not getting taken care of, that just makes me upset.
Anthony, typically, when a service member needs to be medevac, they can go commercial if they don't need to be in a stretcher. Okay. But there are several medevac flights a week that come through Japan and Guam for the service members who have to go to Tripler or to the West Coast. One of the things that we need to make sure when we work on the mission for the military here is they have the mission. Because to be honest, if I were in bad shape, I would not want to get transferred to Hawaii in a stretcher on United. I'd rather be on a C-141 that has doctors and nurses on it.
See,
But
look
I
at
think
that.
what he was talking about, though, Bob, was a service-connected veteran.
Well, but we're
Yes.
talking service connected too. I'm just saying this can be set up simply. And part of it, again, is and I'm going to just take a minute to push something that we've discussed in the past. How are we going to get this? We can talk about it on the radio, and then we can talk about it next week on the radio, and the week after, and it's still going to be the same.
We just need to
what
take
we need to
action.
do is work through Congress. Now, we have a congressman that's been working hard for us.
Yes.
And James Moylan, Congressman Moylan, has been doing a whole lot to help us, and we can see that in the things that have come from his office. But we also have veterans organizations that can go to all of the senators, which we don't have one, and all of the congressmen. And so we have people here who are members of Disabled American Veterans, American Legion, VFW,
Purple Heart.
the Purple Order of the Purple Heart, Vietnam Veterans of America.
Red Cross.
I think. Well, I'm trying to go to where we have veterans organizations.
They're supposed to take care of us.
But just that, I want us to go to the veterans organizations who have national lobbying and have them will lobby on our behalf
Yes.
and include this in their national projects and agenda that Guam veterans get the care and treatment they need, including the transportation.
And by the way, you are a lifetime member of VFW and American Legion?
I'm just a regular member of Legion, but lifetime for VFW.
We're going to change that, right? Chris, did you hear that? So, but yes, and you know, the last thing I had put out was VFW was in Congress speaking about the things that they needed. What I did learn was that our VFW folks here did not alert our congressman that, you know, this was going to happen. And I don't know how that really works, but at some point we have to talk to each other and say, hey, look, Congressman, you need to get up there.
What
right?
usually happens is in VFW, American Legion, disabled vets, they all go to Washington once or twice a year. They put on their hats and so on, their name tags, and they go around to all of the congressional people they can meet with, and they meet with their congressman to push their agenda. I don't think in Guam we have been sent. Now, one of the things is it's like $300 round trip from California, and it's $2,500 round trip from Guam. How do we make sure our veterans can be in Washington to meet with the Congress?
MAC flights for our 100%ers and for our retirees, MAC flights as well.
Okay.
And there's ways for us to get out there. We're already fundraising. We might as well. And that's one way to do it, right? But on top of that, like you said, we already have these national organizations. Let's lobby with them here locally and say, guys, this is what we're thinking. And I'm really thinking that's what was supposed to happen. When VFW was there, they were there by themselves when they were speaking to Congress at the time. I remember the one you talked about where it was DAV, American Legion, and VFW. That was a few months before that. And when I first heard that, I didn't understand what it was when these folks from VFW and American Legion told me, hey, you know, we get to go to Congress. When I saw it and I heard them talking, I was like, that's what we need.
That's how we can get to Congress, is get our national organizations to carry the water on our behalf.
That's right. And that would help us with the things that we're talking about here with getting a medical facility.
In closing brings me to one more thing. Join the American Legion if you're eligible. Join VFW if you're eligible. If the young people are not joining it, and yet they're the ones who need these benefits.
Yes. Well, and by the way, so things are changing, though, and I think this is why some of the things are the way they are, right? Our numbers for those organizations are starting to dwindle, and we're not bringing in new blood into the organizations, number one. Number two, the youngsters prefer to ride bikes these days, and I think that's how it's working. Doesn't mean we still can't do the same things, right? Because just because you ride a bike doesn't mean you're not part of VFW or American Legion. And a lot of the bike clubs out here, especially here on Guam, are pro-veteran and are helping our veterans. I mean, we have our Wounded Warrior Ride, so even with that, those are things that are going on.
I think we have 1 minute. Yes, Jose? 1 minute. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Did you guys want to add a few words, last word on Memorial Day?
Ms. Sue, you have something?
Yes, I get very tearful about Memorial Day, and I feel very strongly that we need to remember those that have fallen and watch the history shows and let me know, because I know I can't get through a show without tears in my eyes, that the sacrifices that our veterans made, some of them are so unbelievable. So we have to be very thankful and honor them today. This is their day. And most certainly, as Bob said, their families. Please, recognize and thank our Gold Star families, too.
Thank you. Bob?
Well, I can't add to what Sue said. And I'm just so thankful we had everybody listening today and remembering the fallen heroes from Guam.
Yes, and if anyone didn't catch the ceremony, it's on KGTF YouTube. You can watch the 2024 Memorial Day commemoration.
And by the way, this is a brilliant idea coming from you, Bob, right? That, we start the day with the celebration, and we're also wrapping up the day with another celebration, right? So,
and after we close out, the end of this will be the military song of each service, including the Space Force, honoring all veterans, to those who have given their lives and those who are still alive. And we're going to honor every veteran at the end of the show.
Thanks, Bob.
Don't forget, it's Year of the Veteran. We have a lot of things going on out there for all our government agencies, right? Do an open house. Tell us what you have, how you can take care of our veterans. For all of our businesses, same thing. And for all of our military services, you know, keep thinking of us and taking care of us. Support us.
Thank you. See you next week.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Tornadoes leaving 15 dead in the nation's heartland. I'm Sue Guzman, Fox News. Tornadoes were deadly in the Midwestern U.S. over the weekend, and it is not letting up.
Millions of people in the South and Midwest are facing another round of severe weather. Tornadoes, giant hail, heavy rain, and damaging winds